Yes.
Let's keep the order.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Brad Dubrowsky. I'm the founder of Thumb United. Hold on, let me turn this timer on. Geez, I lost it because
I'm so sorry.
I was so organized. I apologize too.
Ah,
So anyway, I am the founder of Thumb United. Just a little quick background. I grew up in the industry. My dad was a pioneer in the fake fur industry. If you Google my last name, there's a huge business on Etsy of my dad's coats, business was 75 years old as a child. 8, 9, and 10, I worked in the factory learning everything for 1 month of summer. I sat with my dad. But anyway, here's the story. I used to travel for 14 years, 3.5 months a year. I lived in Asia. I've been everywhere 35, 40 times. And then I traveled 3 weeks through Europe. And my skill was identifying emerging trends. I had 2 sons that were getting older. And you know, there's a huge problem of people. Let me share my screen. There's a huge problem of people distracted, right? And let me get here. Whoa, I have so many things opened up right now, but I think I could find it right here. Okay, sorry, guys. So there's a huge problem. Everybody knows it, of people being distracted on their phones. Accidents, car accidents are an all-time high. What really pushed me was my mom's parents were killed in a car accident by a drunken driver when she was an infant. And as bad as that is, it's much worse today with people on their phones, looking everywhere they're driving. So my goal was, because I was to marriage product, and what the void was that I noticed there on a basic item that's worn globally, sweatshirts, that there's no pockets on the inside. So I redesigned it, but that wasn't enough. You know, the pockets, and what Thumb stands for is teaching humans universal mobile behavior. There's an acronym for the name, and united as a family. But what's really amazing is that if you're looking at the snapshot right now, I have a unique style. I don't know if anybody went to the website, because if you went to the website and you said, oh, another hoodie company, that is not the case. If I had only a women's hoodie or a men's hoodie, which, by the way, mine's pretty fantastic right now, I wouldn't be as excited. I wouldn't be as passionate. But the truth is, if you look, and I'll show you that in a minute, if you go to my website, you'll see the reviews. But basically, I came up with a product. Pockets just make it easier to put the phone away. And if through brand messaging, like Nike said, just do it. You know, I came up with slogans: hold a hand, not a phone, play in life, not online. All you need is love, not likes. These are great messages for society today, and it's global. And that was my vision. I know how to build. I know a product when it's a $50 million item. Lululemon started with a legging. I don't know if anybody here remembers Members Only. My dad was friends with Herb. I had breakfast with him twice. He built a $100 million business around one style. I have a style that no one else has. I launched it on July 5th of the pandemic. I had $25 a day on my credit card, $12.50 for Facebook, $12.50 for Instagram. We tested for 3 months in the worst time, a pandemic, and then the George Floyd incident broke out. I ended up doing, from every 700 I spent, I did, 23 and change ROAS. For July, August, September, I made a deal with Susan Komen, the largest breast cancer organization. Women were buying my sweatshirts for the function of the pockets on the inside. After breast surgery, there's drainage of the breasts and fluid, so they were sticking the pouches in my pockets on the inside. And so what ended up happening on October 1st of 2020, I'm sure you remember where you were, I put down every 3 days, we raised 25, 50, 75. At the end of October, I was at 33 in sales, 33,000. At the last, I ended up doing $130,000. Probably 125 was the last 3 months of October. You could see I went from 130 in sales. 2021, we did 775,000. 23, I did 878,000. with over 23,000 orders. I have 45,000 opt-in emails. I'll give you a little statistic I'm proud about that's not written here. On April 30th of 21, we put out our first email ever. And we had 4,000 people signed up. Today we have 45. The email went out at 6 o'clock at night telling everybody that we now had pink, which was made for Susan Komen. Are you guys familiar with Susan Komen, the largest breast cancer organization in the world, or certainly in New York, in America? Every October in America is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 8 women get breast cancer. I do no marketing I do no marketing in that world. And it's a huge potential. But anyway, what I'm really proud is on April 30th of 21, we sent out an email at 6 o'clock saying that we had pink. My phones, we were at 2,300 in sales at that time of the night, whatever the ad spend was. We did $1,000 an hour until midnight. We did $9,800 that day. I had people stalking, literally women stalking the website. So let me keep going unless you want me to stop here. But my average order value is 144. Incredible. I'll give you also another statistic. When I launched the brand, a lot of smart people, all my Harvard MBA friends in the apparel business, told me that I would never sell a product over $109. Excuse me. They told me I'd never sell a product over $99. And I literally said, I'm not interested in being in a $99 business. And I had aspirations to be more like a Lululemon. My product, and listen, you're always better launching. In my humble opinion, from my experience, I'm only an expert in the brand business. But from my experience on my side of the world, if you could get one product that people come and know you about, like Lululemon was leggings, it always starts with one thing. This product, let me continue. So we all know the mission of what we want to do. Let's get rid of that. How does that close? We all know what the mission is. And if you look at the statistics, they're crazy. Each of you has been guilty of looking at your phone in the car. I'm sure if I asked you that question on the oath, you'd probably say yes. But it's a big problem in Europe also. I know this for a fact. And I'm happy to talk about it. But what's really cool is this. So this product right here is called the Casey. My products have names. A gentleman who lost his daughter crossing the street to a distracted driver met me and asked me if I would name the sweatshirt after his daughter. You can't sell death, but that's the truth with the Casey name. Anyway, I'm first rate in making apparel. I used to sleep in factories. When you hear stories like that, there were no phones, there was no emails. And the one thing I could tell you about my product, if you read my reviews, and I'll get you there, is they're made by a gentleman who's been in my family, a relationship in my family for 3 generations, and they're made in factories that typically make outerwear. And if you know what I'm talking about, the needle is different for outerwear. A lot of people make, you could buy a hoodie for $39 on Amazon, right? But the quality that we make is unbelievable. And where I launched it at 109, this style, I think you could see some pockets here. There's pockets with zippers. A couple of pockets. It just makes it easier to put a phone away. When you're a woman, what do you got? A phone, maybe lipstick, keys, and a wallet. So this garment is just made thumb slits. If those of you probably know two-way YKK zippers, I spent two-way zippers. The product is really exceptionally made. Let me keep going. So the Casey right now is at 134. And could you believe this? It went from 109 to 114 to 119 to 124 to 129 to 132, and it never stopped. Right now, if you want to buy the Casey extra small to 1X is 134 MSRP. If you buy 2X and 3X, it goes to 144, and 4X is 149. There is no stopping of consumers, but I've reached my peak right now, and I'll tell you why. If you look at the screen, The Casey, which is 50% of my sales, which is incredible to be known for. People, women tell people. And the beauty about this is you're much better launching a women's brand than a men's brand. You could see, and I'll explain that in a second, but that the product cost me 28 to 33. I can get it down to 25 to 30 with, larger orders. So there's a huge markup, 73, 300, over 350% markup. The margins are enormous. This is, can I keep talking? Just quickly, I'll try and go through the rest. Is that all right? My competition, some of these brands, I admire them. American Giants, American Made, Lululemons. Scotty Best is a travel wear brand. I consider myself an athleisure wear brand, but knit-based. Here are the projections. I have an investment banking firm that's representing me. They contacted me 2 months ago. All of these projections are done on a formula, and then they called in experts, really experts in scaling apparel brands. They analyzed the back end of my business. I'm very confident that I could get to 18 million in 3 years. Very confident. I'm very confident in these numbers. The Casey style alone is a $40 million item. We have not scratched the surface. I'll give you a look at these KPIs. Again, I have probably the lowest return rate in the industry. People congratulate me on that. It's 5.5%. My exchange rate is 5.5%, mostly 3X and 4X, women who don't, fit my fit. Again, my average ROAS for 23 was 3. I'm speaking to people right now that have contacted me that assure me by the second year they can get me up to 6 ROAS with my numbers. And you can see the margins. I'll just show you something. I don't know if I had the review somewhere, but let me just click on this for a second. If you go to my review page, excuse me. If you go to my review page, I couldn't pay for these reviews. I'm telling you, they're all verified. If you read how many, and if you saw my 2 first, 3 first, I got women that are buying over $1,000 at a time. I know them on a first name basis. The reviews are just outstanding. I have over 2,000, maybe close to 3,000 verified reviews. I'm very proud of that. There's just a huge potential. The market opportunity, this is on the deck too, and I'm happy to share the deck. We have right now, my first investors were professional baseball players, raised about $650. It's not because of them that my product's selling. It's because all these women loving the product. I'm basically Instagram and Facebook now. There's a huge potential to launch this in a big way. And it's also a big potential to go global. I've shipped 14 countries already, but we're not set up to do that. We're in a $2 million raise. I'm very confident with where it's going to take us and the use of funds. And then basically here's the team. Ruben was the former CEO of Champs. Scott Brown ran Nike. He reported directly to Phil Knight. He ran European customization. Unfortunately, both of them didn't invest in the company, but that Ruben came on board just before the pandemic. He was analyzing the company. But very smart guy. He was the CEO of Champs, 9,000 employees. And then basically, this is the style I'm talking about. I perfected the fit. If you know about samples and doing, this is the stuff I do, details. It's all in the details. And if you see this hood, no one else makes this product. So it's an unbelievable product. And I will tell you, my women's hoodie is number 2. My men's hoodie is number 3. I added pants. I know how to build out a line. The hardest thing about being in the apparel business is finding a winner. In my world, I don't know if anybody needs a collection anymore. People need to know that we have something and every woman wants it. And the difference between launching men's and women's, American Giant launched as a men's brand with the greatest hoodie ever made. They had great PR. They made a good product. The difference between men and women, I launched as a women's company with something no one has, and their hoodies at 138. This is at 134, okay? Is when women buy something and they open it up and look in the mirror, you know what happens? They could end up falling in love and buying 3, 4. Men don't look in the mirror and say, wow, I need it in every color. So that's a big thing. I leave you with this summary. I think I could build a huge business together with the right team. I know my strengths and weaknesses. I'm a very good creative director. And I have actually something, there's always the next thing. I've already have a prototype of an item that I believe after, that it's going to be huge, but I won't get away. This style is a $50 million item. Everywhere in the world, people wear sweatshirts as a uniform. And I probably have more pockets. I think I'm the only lifestyle brand that offers pockets like I do. Travel wear brands, a different category. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. I'm so glad that this call went on because for 10 minutes, I was nervous as could be that I missed the appointment. So I'll let you, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me run over.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah, you want me to stop sharing the screen or you want me to leave it on?
Or you can leave it on, maybe if you need to show something. So now we will
So
move
anyway,
to the...
do you see this patch here? You see, do you see this?
No, we see,
you don't see,
I see only a part of the screen. No.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the last thing I'll leave you with is in every one of my sweatshirts, there's a patch that says, be happy. And people love, the world is filled right now. Wellness is a very good message. And I did this a long time ago. And if you go to the website, you could see I printed on suede. I created this artwork. You wouldn't, how many people write in about loving the message of the brand? So that's all I have to show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear the feedback from the advisors.
I'll start out first. I have some questions.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Brad, what patents do you hold on this product?
Good question. I'm not worried about patents. I know a lot about trademarks. The trademarks I have is on the sayings, hold a hand, not a phone, play in life, not online, all of those. The thing about filing patents, you're not going to get and again, speaking to lawyers in my world who get paid a lot of money and didn't charge me. Patents I didn't create a pocket on the inside, just like Untuck-It, you may know that brand. They didn't have a patent on shirts with short hems. They were out in front and did that, but I'm out in front. I have the original Casey. A pocket on the inside, you can't get a patent for. And I don't know if you're familiar with the brand, what's the name of that brand? Lifestyle brand that does all the pockets on the inside. You can't patent pockets on the inside of a sweatshirt, thumb holes, two-way zippers, a waste of money, in my opinion.
You're saying you can't get a utility patent for what your product is?
I haven't spent money trying to get utility patents. I've been more concerned with getting out in front and getting consumers happy, because right now, the only thing that's holding me back is more capital to make a bigger distribution and buy more inventory.
So
it hasn't been...
What's stopping anyone else from duplicating your product right now?
I don't know if you're in the apparel business. My whole life, I went to Macy's with a product or Bloomingdale's before there was the internet. And guess what? You could always say someone's going to knock you off. You know what? Go ahead, knock me off. That's how I really feel. I'm not worried. You want the knockoff? Go buy the knockoff. You want the original? You're going into Untuck-It and you're buying the product. You're going in to buy the brand.
One more question.
Yeah.
Have you checked to see who has utility patents for products similar to yours?
No, I have not spent money on doing that because I was told by a group of lawyers that it would be a waste of money to do that. And so, if I know American Giant or Scotty Vest, that was the brand I was talking about. If you go look at Scotty Vest, they're a travel wear brand. I'm told you can't get pocket utility trade patents. Now, if investors come on board and they want to sit and bring lawyers to the table, I'm very happy. I'm very open-minded to have patents filed in addition to the trademarks I have. Right now, the brand's out in front. I have a great message. Nobody has this message. We can make a big difference. and the brand could save lives. I believe that. I didn't do this just to make money. I did this because I really wanted to do something that could be a game changer. And Nike says, just do it. You know, we have all these other sayings, and the brand's message, it resonates with people. And that's a big thing. When you could build a brand that touches people's hearts and you deliver a product like I do, it's just a winning combination. If I was going to sit and worry about, I have a ladies hoodie, right? Anybody could knock, you know how many people do ladies hoodies? And by the way, you know what? I have Amazon contacting me every month telling me how rich they're going to make me. I'm not for Amazon. We're driving everybody to our website. And by the way, I've already knocked off the Casey, so everybody knows. Good question. I knocked it off with another style called the Stacy, which has a different pocket, not different pocket, has a different body. It has raglan sleeves as opposed to set-in sleeves, which is the Casey. And I knocked it off. I do it in velour for women. I do the Casey in velour. And I'm also planning on knocking it off and doing it in a mohair cashmere combination. That's going to be higher at $199. I like to go up before I go down. And I could also then, the plan is to knock and do a line in microfiber of the Casey. So I could be at the $77 to $99 range. And again, listen, somebody could have bought my, Lululemon knows who I am. And by the way, the American Giant people know me. I've been eating their lunch. Okay, go look at their sweatshirts, go look at their company. It's American made. That's great. I make overseas. You know, my older brother just came back from Vietnam for the second time.
But Brad, let me stop you for a minute because I have some questions here.
Yeah.
Number one, I've worked in the past with companies like Levi Strauss, Gloria Vanderbilt, Jones New York. I produced over 100 different brands here in the US. You obviously have a great concept that you develop, and you've also started it the way I like to see companies start up, with one simple product that you've made into your company. My question for you is, number one, you might want to check and see who has utility patents on similar products. Okay. And I'm going to go into that. If you want to give me a call and talk to me about that, I'd be more than happy to. I specialize in nanobiotech utilitarian products. So we have a lot of things I could probably share with you on that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I would like to speak to you offline. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is your next product is where are you headed to next? Are you expanding it into men's? Or are you expanding it into other?
Well, we already have men's. We already have men's. I have a men's pant. I have a men's sweatshirt. And the men's hoodie is fabulous. If I sent each of you a men's hoodie, you'd be like wearing it every day. So I have it offered only in black, gray, and navy.
You've already expanded there. Then my next question is, with your existing revenue stream, why do you need more capital?
So the business model was not for me to finance it. The original investors came before the pandemic. I got raised about $400,000 with no sales based on my vision and my background. I started going into work. We were expecting a second tranche of money before the baseball season started from a few players. When the pandemic broke out, everything stopped. And so I'll tell you a good thing about what happened to me, because I'm pretty good at bootstrapping. And I've taken it to a different level. But the gentleman overseas, Mr. Tonk, when the world fell apart, he was a major player delivering goods into New York through the ports. Everything stopped. He started, people went, the world fell apart. He found out from my older brother that I hid an item. I was the creative guy. He calls me up, WeChat, and he says to me, Brad, he gets all the information, 60-year-old guy, very smart. He says to me, I'll call you back tomorrow. He calls me back the next day and tells me to fill up a 40-foot container. I tell him I have no money. It all dried up, no investors. He says, I don't care. I need to move goods. I got factories, blah, blah, blah. Write a cutting ticket. I write a cutting ticket. The next day he calls me up, fill up a 20-foot container. I'm like, you sure? He says, Brad, I trust you, your family. I got to make this move to expand. You have a product. If it wasn't for him, and I'm sure every one of you remembers the boats not coming into the ports. It's good that he has family someplace, because I got delivered a 40-foot and a 20-foot container to my shipping facility in Barnegat on terms to pay for it when I can. So that kept me going. And so we couldn't raise money. If you go on the website, I started running out of colors. I started, as of now, and when no investors came on board, we got a loan from Shopify, which is manageable. You get PayPal offering you money. Truthfully, they're eating my lunch. I don't like it. I'm not looking, I own 60% of the company. I'm not looking to own 51. I'm looking to find investors that want to build a $100 million brand. That's what I'm looking for, and have the right people around me.
So Brad, I'm kind of confused a little bit, because if you're doing the kind of sales you say, and you've got the kind of credit lines that you've had with the factories, what is happening to your cash flow?
Wait a minute. So the original shipment that was shipped, I don't have a line of credit with the factories. It was a one-time thing that Mr. Tok shipped me. And the problem was, even when I was trying to raise money to expand and run a business, what happened was, again, I had to take a loan. There was a couple of investors. I must have spent, $3,000 a month getting on a broker trying to get meetings. Another $3,000 went on for 3 months. So I spent a certain amount of money trying under, good recommendations of people so I didn't have any meetings. And truthfully, so the cash flow also, so you understand, the best-selling style went from 109 to 134. It just changed to 134. We did a lot of testing and through the years. And it's not just about Facebook and Instagram. It's about all the other things. But our cash is low. And it's primarily because we were forced, when we did an investor deal, we had something pending.
Is most of your finances tied up in inventory now?
Yeah, so I still own I have really good inventory in Barnegat. My money's not tied up. It's there. It's there. I have to pay for the inventory going forward with Mr. Tok. It's a long-term liability, but because of the relationship with the family, it's not like tomorrow I got to pay for it. He's looking to get our business going forward. He knows that it's going to be larger than 20-foot containers. And I'm happy to go through with my back office financials to show you on screen exactly where the money went and why we have cash flow issues. No problem doing that.
Just some questions that were popping up at me. I just wanted to
No, I appreciate it. Listen, it's been difficult when we were expecting an $800,000 investment before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, from these two guys that I had meetings with for 3 months. And then they call me up and they tell me, hey, after Black Friday, we're going to get together. And then after Black Friday, my business took off in 23. I could show you the numbers. And I get a phone call or an email telling them that they have to focus. They had a terrible weekend, Black Friday, and they have to focus their resources on their own brand. So, that was in play for 3 months. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. And so here I was contacted by this nice company. And, I'm prepared to find investors. I'm looking to build a global brand, and, happy to get on a second call and run through the back end with my marketing guy, it's some AI technology. It's really incredible. I'm not the guy to explain it to you. I am the person to explain the product. But besides, if you want to know what the next thing is, besides these products, which I was hesitant to say I had this item, but I'm sure you're all familiar with Crocs. So you walk into a Crocs store, there's one style, and basically after they buy it, they're going into the center of the store and they're buying these giblets. They're $4.99 a piece. They cost nothing to make in China, and they decorate their shoes. I did a prototype, and people do this to kids do this to backpacks. And by the way, people buying Crocs and doing this are my age, all different ages, the nurse industry, everybody. So I designed a jacket that you're going to be able to customize and do certain things to plug in. And we already started testing. I have an add-on for a patch, an American flag patch. People pay $14 a piece. So imagine you come to the website, there's a style that's for men, women. I have a new hoodie that I designed, but it's a hoodie. And now you could, after you buy it, you could take it, you can go to a store. People love to build their own. It's a customization is a big thing. So that's the next thing I have. But right now, the Casey in itself, for me to scale it and hit the numbers, I have to have the inventory. I'm out of teal in a lot of colors. We just flew, by the way, so I just purchased what just came in, the $18,000 worth of merchandise. And I'll give you an idea. So Mr. Talk, I don't have a line of credit. He's not shipping me more merchandise. He did what he did as a one-time because he knew he could trust me and he had to move it for whatever reasons. Bottom line is, you know, going forward with these items, just the Casey alone, and I appreciate what you said to me because you know the business. When you could drive people, and it's always a horse race. You know, I sold Macy's, I sold Bloomingdale's. They called me up and say, hey, Brad, this style's number 1, this style's number 2, this is 3. And that's how it worked. There's always 1, 2, and 3. I probably make the greatest. My pullover is so hot right now. The ladies pullover, and I do a men's, and pullovers are huge. But because my Casey is up here, they're not even looking at the pullover. I'm marketing it more. So, you know, the numbers speak for themselves.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have to.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
we're a bit
very
short of time.
passionate about it, and I didn't
Yeah,
let people more questions.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hear now the feedback from Jeppe.
Yes. I'm sure I not got much time, Matilda, but I can just jump over my question. Just on the P&L, thank you, Brad. Just on the P&L, it seems that the revenue hasn't grown that much since 2021 to 2023, and then the next year is going to decrease with lots of millions. What's different now in terms of? It seems very optimistic for me.
Do you know the apparel industry? I'm not just optimistic and pulling these numbers out of air. I have some historical data on my sales. I have very strong metrics. I've been doing a lot of testing and bootstrapping to get to this point in a very difficult time. I'm not saying the pandemic is not behind us, but it did a lot, and it affected at least my business where I couldn't get investors. And not only, it wasn't even from me pitching, it was there were no meetings. I had one set of meetings. So this opportunity to get in front of, I don't know how many people are here, but 30, 40 people that understand the fashion business. So I understand where you may not understand the revenue and why I'm optimistic. I know this business very well. And I worked with Macy's and all these stores where they would give me a test for, you know, 100,000, 200,000. And the next thing it's sold. I always had an eye for this. And the next thing that would happen is they'd call me up and say, Brad, we want to put you in 800 stores. Your business would go from $200,000, $300,000 to 15 million. And I've done that. And I've seen people do it even more. So I think having the item I have, because if I was just a hoodie company, I'd say that might be tough. But having the reviews, the assets that the company has, and if you know anything about Susan Komen, 1 in 8 women get breast cancer. And emotionally, I could tell you what I feel about great brand. Great brands become great brands when you build an emotional attachment. And I got women right now who love my product. All I ask you is go read the reviews. Read some of my reviews. It's really incredible. I'm not even an internet guy. I really don't go on Facebook and do things. I'm just, you know, I'm a design guy, and I'm more of an introvert than I am. You know, when I hang up this call, I'm going to, you know, zip it up and be quiet and start working on something creative. But I'm very optimistic on what we've achieved and where the company could go. And I have no doubt in my mind that I could hit these numbers with the right people. And the company could be set up to go internationally. Everywhere in the world, there's a lot of women. And I think eventually and every one of them is going to love the Casey because I'm already shipping. I got a bunch in Australia, Canada. If I was set up to ship internationally and market the brand, it would explode. I think the Jamie right now, which women, not everybody could buy the Casey. It looks better on you when you're a little taller, but every woman could buy the Jamie basic hoodie. So I remain very optimistic based on my assets and the partnership that I established.
I mean, I really hope you meet the targets. I mean, because it's the lifetime value is just about the price of the Casey hoodie. So it doesn't seem like a repetitive business so far. But in terms of new products, I guess you want people to buy more products, not just one hoodie?
No, well, first of all, I'd be happy to get on a call with you and pull up the reorder percentage and how many women have bought way more than 2, 3, 4 at a time. Again, I'm not an expert in data. I'm an expert in how women shop. And so I think, right, to try to answer your question, I think my focus was as a founder is customer satisfaction and delivering a product. I know that I have the cost now where I could buy this product at $25, $27, not get returns. Anybody could talk about sales. When you could talk about not only what goes out in sales, but what doesn't come back. I have the lowest return rate in the industry, and I got very sticky product. And again, I have a product that no one has. I'm happy to look at a patent guy. And seriously, I would love to do that and have that talk with you. You know, sometimes it's recognizing the next thing. I really mean that. It's being able to recognize, because there is always the next thing. And if I had just a hoodie that my sales were good, it wouldn't be this.
Okay, thank you. As we have to move now to the next presenter. Yes.
I appreciate the
Thank you.
opportunity. I'm sorry. I'm glad that this get canceled, but I'd love to speak to you offline as you offered.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
I'll
Thank
turn
you.
my volume off.
Okay, thank you. We will now move to the second presenter, which is Frederik Sturm and the company ARYS.
Yes.
Hi, Frederik. Hi.
Hi. Can everybody hear me, see me? Yes.
Yes, very well.
Perfect.
So you can share your screen and start your presentation whenever you're ready.
All right. Just a second. All right. Here we go. So yeah, hello everybody. I'm Frederik, or also Fritz. I'm the founder of ARYS. We are basically calling us a global hub for modern functional apparel and lifestyle goods. I will start with the customer perspective, because I also originally do not come from the fashion industry, so I'm also like a lateral entrant in this. So back then we were always thinking about like what drives the modern customer, and especially like the one that lives in urban environment in big cities. And yeah, what is, I think, really the key is that people are looking for seamless, intelligent solutions such as smartphones or smart homes, everything around this. So yeah, this is why yeah, 30 plus men, yeah, with a decent income, looking for like seamless, refined solutions. And also like in apparel, we experience that they are looking like for really good craftsmanship, minimalism, so not so much logo anymore, and more, of course, functionality, because like lifestyles became more diverse, traveling a lot, all these things, commuting, work-life balance. So all of you know this for sure. And also 30 plus people still value a good shopping experience, and also like creating or building or being part of communities. So this is like our point of view, our perspective, how we are seeing this. So the market evaluation, as we just heard in the other presentation, the demand is increasing over the next years. To 2030, there will be like a 600 billion value of this market for functional clothing, athleisure, like everything which is basically mixing the fashion with like functionality. And of course, we do have countries with great purchase powers, and like our key markets, such as like the big cities in the world, especially in the US, China, Japan, Germany, and UK. There's a big amount of urban people that are willing to spend money for good clothing. And I also piled up that like this demand for functional fashion is rising. As you can see, like with the famous brands like Margiela Salomon, Gucci, North Face, Jill Sander, Arc'teryx, and so on. So it is really like an increasing demand, and obviously a clear opportunity. Like when seeking for like pure or like proper functional fashion, like basically brands that have like an urban heritage with like really good outdoor performance. And you can see that the landscape is still quite limited. Of course, I didn't add now brands from Japan because they're like in sizing and fit a bit different, but like from European brands or US brands, okay, except for Uniqlo, you can see that there is already like a certain amount of brands or interesting brands. Of course, some are missing, but I think that there is a big opportunity, like basically a sweet spot in the center where you basically reach the perfect mix of functionality and fashion, and also like a price range which is not over the top, but also still like in a premium level where we as a company can earn money. And like for the customer, he has like the feeling that he has like a product with proper value. So yeah, so this in this area, we see, for example, brands like Houdini and North Project, which are Scandinavian brands already reaching revenues of more than 20 million euros annually and selling over in over 200 stores. And yeah, they're a bit older than we are. We are actually ARYS. We are from Berlin and are existing since roughly 10 years now. So our approach is that we basically mix design with functionality and with very durable fabrics and high comfort and a big like customer-centric way that we really check that it meets the demands of like urban customers. Our vision is really to become in the long term like a synonym for functional fashion, and also the mission is that we really like elevate the lifestyle of modern urban people, crafting innovation, functional fashion that seamlessly basically blends style and performance. So we have already a way behind us. So as I introduced myself at the beginning, I am not from the fashion industry. I started actually with 21, just as like a side project with multifunctional tracksuits. And during this time, we got the ISPO, biggest sports and fashion trade show, got aware of us. We were showing at the newcomer or like kind of like a newcomer accelerator program, or ISPO Brand New it was called, and first showed our tracksuits. We made actually like second place out of 30 brands, so the people really liked it. And then we are kind of said, oh, okay, there's actually a bigger opportunity. Then we actually created our first collection, which was made only in Europe, with very high-end fabrics like from Schoeller or Italian other Italian suppliers, and working there with very good factories. Then we won our first big ISPO award in the urban category, where we also competed against brands like the North Face or Patagonia, and had a good visibility, and actually entered in the Japanese market first, like immediately to Beams and Isetan, like the giant stores in Japan, was like a very very influential on other stores. And during this time we were able also to secure more ISPO awards. So we are actually in total on 5 ISPO awards for having like really outstanding products, quality, basically uniting like all the best things from fashion, from good design, minimalist design, and also this high level of functionality. And this time we were then able to expand our to expand to other stores. We expand globally. Japan, as I mentioned, also to Korea, to Hyundai department stores. We worked with stores in UK, France, Germany. We covered basically all the entire landscape of premium stores, and also worked with 2 stores in the United States. And we're like really on the rise. Unfortunately, during this time, COVID hit us quite hard, because back then we were basically focusing only on a wholesale strategy. The reason why, and I still believe in wholesale or retail, is like it is, in my opinion, the best way to really properly create a brand and build a brand through like renowned stores that have their own communities and basically introduce these stores to their communities. But like for us, we had really, unfortunately, a bad timing there, because at the moment when it was like really going up, we basically invested in the collection, we invested in products, and then had problems with lockdowns with the factory and so on. What a result for us from there was that we actually decided to create our own store, because there's in the end not a lot of stores in Europe right now basically having this heritage of functional fashion, and we said that we like really truly know like what it is about and which brands are in our environment. So we launched the store, and we were able to get a lot of interesting and famous and also not so famous, but interesting brands on board. And basically we're then able to achieve in this period 1.2 million in revenue, despite very limited financial resources. And more or less work during this period with external brands, since we did not have so much on stock of our own brand anymore. And now we are basically ready to get back with our brand. So yeah, quick word. So we basically work with the best manufacturers globally, from Polartec to FOV, Olmentex or Komatsu. Really like planning the best of the best. We have a big focus also on sustainability, meaning that we work mainly with recycled fabrics or NOS fabrics. Our design approach is, as I said, that we use a lot of data and insights from our store to really make the product as matching as possible to our target audience. And also we have a big focus on unisex products. So we are more and more working also on designing like kind of like with special design elements, like adjustable sleeves and everything, that everything can also fit to a female target group, which we also believe is, of course, in a long run, a very, very important target group. Sustainability I mentioned. So like our store is basically like an accelerator for our brand. And it was really a good decision to make this, because the store is actually a hub where we really can work with or create a community, or created already a community, where we can create loyal customership, and we can basically kind of like grow in the slipstream of the big brands. Brands like we work with Oakley, Essex, Snowpeak, Hoka, Salomon, like everything which is coming from this niche. So this is like giving like a lot of visibility on our store. Luckily, our own products were always like the best-selling products, which is for us a really clear sign that our products are a bit more advanced and special than the others. And as I just mentioned, like we get very, very valuable data through our sales, like also from customers, like what they like on other brands and so on, that we can really implement into our products. So we have with our products like good markups from 5 to 8, depending a bit on what product category it is and where we produce. We have a very flexible supply chain nowadays, with like MOQ starting from 100, so we are able to like produce very well. The good thing is we do have already popular bestsellers, so I think like cash cows or proven items are very important. Our price range is around 200 euros for trousers and up to 900 euros for jackets. Actually, one of our bestsellers is the 700 euro jacket, which I have just behind here, that you have a quick look. So it's a commuter cape, very beautiful, sleek coat with yeah, amazing hand feel. And we do have then like these interesting features. For example, if you oh, just a second, zip up everything here, you have like a full reflective back, so very good when you're cycling when it's dark and chilly. So this is like a very special 3-layer fabric that was only produced for us. Also like here with these straps that you can wear it like a backpack, and we have a huge focus like on a really good fit and comfy. So men really admire the things that we are doing. Unfortunately, we are sold out on everything, so that's also why we are here. Yeah, also what it's existing already is that we have a sales network with with an agency in UK, with a distributor in Japan. We are right now talking to Hypebeast actually for Chinese market. We are talking to Scandinavian agencies, but it's more like that the agencies are coming to us than the other way around, so we can kind of like choose there. Yeah, quickly, so ARYS and Harris-Burland, we have already like captured the attention of customers worldwide. So we had so far like 15,000 plus customers, and also like loyal clientele. So sales network I just mentioned. So we know a lot of people. We're like very close also to the big brands, as you can see on the bottom, that we had already a nice partnership with Hoka, among other brands. So there's kind of like a group of very famous brands that are also very interested in making collaboration with us.
I'm sorry, I have to jump in. Do you have many slides left?
No, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Yeah.
Okay, last minute then.
Yes, I rush. So exceptional ratings, basically 5-star ratings everywhere, because of very good customer service and also because our products last very long. And yeah, engaged community. Quick note here, like the Beams former head buyer really admires what we are doing. They're very strict in their buying policies, so they only buy like the really good and interesting things. We are like basically seeking for 500,000 euros now. So we are currently at 400,000 euro revenue, like with the store only. When the brand would be back, we would basically increase this immediately. We do have a loyal customer base. We have distribution and agencies, and we have like a name in the industry, especially like also among like the renowned brands that you've seen. So we want to use this money like for the relaunch of the ARYS brand, and then pushing also the ARYS store, and investing more in our infrastructure to reach like plus 2 million revenue in 2017. And then we basically want to continue like, and this is like where we see then the potential in long term, like to have especially like in the United States, China and Korea, to find good partners there. Push our wholesale in Europe, and also open 2 more stores, so reaching plus 10 million euro then in 2030, and then scaling it up after until 2030. So we are basically like a ready-made nest, like ready to grow. So you basically see here a nice overview. So with the loyal customers, with our online and offline store, proven market presence in major cities, a premium supply chain. We have great outdoor expertise now, product expertise. So we basically know about everything about the products, and have great insights for our store. We have very low operational costs, like a very lean cost structure, which we developed over the years. and we have like a very good connection to the very influential market in Japan, and also very important that we have bestseller items. Yeah, there's a quick wrap up of the two of our team. Basically, Mattes, who's also on the call, joined me a few years after. He's like taking care of all the operational and business part, and I'm like more the creative guy. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the pitch. Okay, Jeppe, would you like to start?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you, Fritz. I think the space is really interesting, combining the fashion and function together. I'm myself, I'm thinking I'm a core customer of that space as myself. Just make it clear, is it the total sale of 400,000 euros for the store in Berlin, or the company as a whole?
It's right now the company as a whole, because like for the store in Berlin is right now the only thing that we are basically running. So this is why we want to go back now to like bring back our brand.
Okay.
So like what we're selling in the store, just to quickly say, this basically like, let's say, quite clear calculated, so we can only sell as much as we buy right now, and we are more cautious about it. So we have like a lot of top tiering among the other brands, so they're not putting us under pressure that we have to make any minimums, so that we can do kind of like the cherry picking of like interesting products, and that's why we're not like buying enormously. So because in the long term, we like that we are selling the other items is for us just like to show the environment, and it's more like a marketing thing. But our brand is obviously with the margins like the big focus then.
So how is the split between the e-commerce side and the physical concept store? And I said you wrote that you was prior to Corona, you were in several retails across Europe. Is it easy to pick up that collaboration, or do you have it today already, or what's the status on that? Connections.
Yeah, so we have actually first question you asked is like, we have a big focus on actually the retail space. We are not like spending a lot of marketing budget actually online, because we are there very cautious, because we obviously know the competition is very big and spending their money. So I would say it's like 60% retail, 40% online.
Okay.
Varies a bit on month or season. And your second question is, yes, I believe like actually like at the times when especially like from a European perspective, when we were like growing more and more, it was times when functional fashion was still like not in every store. So I think like and it was already quite good that we were able to enter a couple of the very big stores. We still have the contact to them, of course, and many stores already ask us that they are interested to stock again. And our agencies and so on, they're like basically more than ready that we are getting back, because yeah, we have very good like customer feedback and customer reviews. So there's a lot of customers also going to the external stores and asking when the brand is selling again. So yeah.
I think also maybe you mentioned several countries, and also in China and
Yes.
Japan, etc. Maybe just a tip, maybe have a more focused plan to where to enter the markets, because it's very costly, and also not being too wide, because from my perspective, I'm not sure which countries you're going to go first, second, third, etc. So maybe have a more detailed plan on that. And also maybe on the financial, I know this is a short presentation and you probably have lots of other more on the financial, but I wanted to know more about average order, the cost of acquiring a new customer, and more detail on the P&L as well. That's mine. But I think the space is very interesting and growing. I love that space, stuff like that myself. So I could be a customer. So I think the space is really interesting. I hope you will succeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Samuel.
Yeah, Fritz, great concept. I think you're on target with utilitarian products that you're making. I think that you also are geared towards the quality of life of the customer, which is great. I have some questions to you on the financial aspect of it. Well, let's start out with the grading. You mentioned multiple countries. How are you adjusting for the grading of each one of those countries?
Grading, sorry, what do you mean exactly?
You're grading your sizing and your products for
Okay.
different fits in the different countries.
Okay, yeah, got it. Sorry. Yeah, so actually for the Japanese market, for example, we actually make our clothing or our trousers shorter. So we are actually adapting to this. And also what I mentioned, like with the idea of the unisex, so our head of design that basically I work close together with Larissa, she has a very, very big outdoor experience. She actually came from Jack Wolfskin back then. And we have I think like the interesting thing about us is that we have now, especially because I am not from the industry, but like a bit different look, and we are really like kind of like engineers figuring out ways how to adjust sleeves in a way that the product looks still sleek and everything is a bit hidden, so that we can basically fit our styles to like different bodies. So for example, we would only work, or we mainly work with raglan, so that it matches already well to, let's say, an Asian body or an American or a European body.
The reason I asked that question is
yeah.
because you said multiple countries in Germany versus Japan is a different fit completely as far as the grading goes. And so my question to you is, how do you adjust for the two different countries on the same product?
Yeah, by just telling the factory to shorten the trousers or to shorten the sleeves. So our
the trousers, though, when you're talking on the adjustments on the fit, it's in the body, not so much to the length. Anyway, I'll stop. That won't go into
I mean, we have, for example, always on our trousers we have buttons, loops for a belt and a strap. So we have all three things, so that it fits well. I mean, we're working with our distributor from Japan already since 4 or 5 years, and so far they're very happy.
So you're telling me you're shipping the same product to Germany that you're shipping to Japan?
No, we are actually shipping to Japan different products. So we make like where we adjusted actually the lengths of the trousers.
And what country to compare it to that you're shipping to Germany?
I'm sorry?
What country that you're comparing the fit to that you're shipping to Germany?
I mean, like for European countries, we sell German like this fit to the US. We sell our fit, and like for Korea, we actually also we're selling our European fit. Like our experience in the fashion market is that actually that Asians also like prefer actually often like the European fit and are not even too much interested.
Let's go to something else. On the data collection, what are you using to analyze your data that you're collecting? You said you're collecting a lot of data on your customers. How are you collecting it and how are you analyzing it?
We actually do a lot of direct customer interviews. I mean, we have a list of lots of loyal customers. I actually like talking to them and really like figuring out what they like, what they don't like. We also, when we do fittings and so on, we actually invite customers to see the products already up front to give us valuable input. As I said, like it is a very customer-centric product, and it's not like the way that we're like trying to be, I don't know, like doing crazy fashion things. We really focus on a great design, and I think we do have a great design. But this is like how we get data, and also of course through the sales from our Shopify system, we can see like what products work well, which brands work well, which brands are maybe brands which you can kind of like use as a role model. So these are like this kind of data that we're using.
One more question on the styles that you said were your key styles. How many of those have you determined are your key styles?
How many? Sorry.
You said you said that you had determined certain styles that were your key styles that were your best sellers. How many of those styles have you identified?
Roughly 5. roughly
And what
5.
percentage of your sales do they equate to?
I think like these 5, maybe like 60%, 70%. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like one trouser, one cape. But like all in all, we are quite good in like selling the entire collection. So there's usually not too many products that really don't work. Because and especially for the upcoming collections now, we use so much, as I said, customer feedback, to like really get the best out of it and really make. Yeah.
What is your average inventory at one time, and how many times do you turn it a year?
So currently we since we didn't work with the brand now for time, we work usually seasonal. So this is what we did so far. Basically summer winter season. Then basically buying the inventory there. Our goal is also now to especially like with the factories close to Germany, for example in Poland with the lower MOQs, to have more traction. Also going deeper into
With them
again.
being close and giving you smaller, production cycles, you're getting faster turns, so you're getting 5, 6 turns a year, or are you getting 3 turns?
I think like 4 turns if we do the faster. So yeah, this is like especially like on the best selling items, like what we identify generally in our store as very good selling items are definitely trousers. So especially men are really into good trousers and reliable trousers, and this is something what we experience where you really like get loyal customers for. So that's why we were looking for factory, and we found one like in Poland that is doing very good trousers, so that we can have a higher traction future there.
One more question real quick. Your 500,000 that you need,
yeah,
what do you need that for?
Basically to relaunch the brand.
Is that inventory, or is it marketing, branding? What is the percentages?
Yeah, so we we would use to be like very transparent, like the money very carefully, because all in all we are like happy with like the steady way that we are going right now, that we are like not overpacing, because I believe that like brand building needs to be authentic and like sustainable and cannot be like fueled with a lot of money, at least like from a perspective from Europe. So we would use a little bit, as I said, like for infrastructure, and mainly then for purchasing the new collection, but probably we will not use all this money. With the marketing, we are working a lot through our network. I just
what
also
percentage
want
would you use for inventory of the 500?
Maybe 25%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of inventory do you keep on hand on a constant basis?
So currently we have maybe an inventory worth of 150,000 euros, 200,000 euros, 150,000 around, yeah. But it's now more
So
external.
basically what you're saying is you have on hand, with the inventory that you have on hand, and bringing another 300,000 in, I'm sorry, another 100,000 in, you're looking at about $300,000 average inventory.
Yeah, I mean like the inventory, like when we basically buy it with
Just answer one question. Are you looking at about 300,000 average inventory is what you're looking at? What is your
bit higher? I think like until more like towards 400,000.
400,000. Okay.
Yes.
And you're saying you're going to turn your inventory 4 times, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 1.2 million is your projected sales.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Like for as like for the yeah, that's like
I'm just trying to get your numbers.
Yeah. No, like towards $1 million is now like the next goal, basically, when we have our own like our own products again. Like we really like do a holistic approach. So we do like we work with our store, we work with wholesale, we work with our e-commerce. So there are like different ways how we basically get rid of our inventory, but we are trying to really not pump it up too big, and like more really like look that we are can rather like quickly get new products at the moment when we see, okay, the inventory is going. Yeah.
One question just more off into the
yeah.
sunset. What are you guys looking at for carbon credits down the road? Carbon credits. What are you guys looking at for carbon credits down the road?
Sorry, I don't understand this question correctly, but it's maybe
okay. Then I won't.
My English. Sorry.
Let me another question. In Europe, they have a law now that says if you ship it into Europe, it cannot be shipped out. I mean, it has to be shipped out if it doesn't sell. Are you guys having to deal with that right now?
No. Not yet.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So now we will move to the third presenter, which is Vivida, and David will present.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
everybody.
Hi, David.
Hiya. I've got two screens going on, so great. Hi, everyone. My name's David. Here to let me get my. Let me share my screen first. One sec. How do I get this? I can't get it to not. Okay, you can see my tabs, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Can everyone see it okay?
Yes, it's fine.
Does anybody know how to get rid of this stuff? I mean, whatever, it's okay, isn't it? Great, I'm David, here to tell you about Vivida Lifestyle, a pioneering adventure and well-being lifestyle brand. Sorry, let me just move. I need to get comfortable with my, currently your faces are over my screen, 1 second. Yeah, so here to tell you about Vivida, a pioneering adventure and wellbeing lifestyle brand, born from an authentic purpose to inspire and empower a life well lived. We build and sell products for a life well lived. That's not only better, the Vivida product is different. Each design bridges technical and functional with luxury, creativity, and beauty in a way that's unique to the market. Nobody else is doing this. It's our product USP. It's the solution to the problem. I will get into more detail on each category, but in a later slide. But these are the three main categories. Changing robes meet oversized coat. Once niche, this is category very much in the fast lane to mainstream. It's been awarded a few accolades by independent newspaper, GQ Mag, Men's Health Magazine, Best Premium Changing Robe. We've got the towel poncho category. Again, Women's Health Award, and Elevated Ocean Athleisure. Athleisure is a £387 billion market, and we're tapping into that for water. Behind this product, there's an aspirational brand with a name derived from life well lived in Spanish. Vivida was born from an authentic purpose to inspire a life well lived, a life connected to adventure, nature, others, and oneself. And whilst, yes, this is a clothing brand, there is this ambitious and original vision to be and do more than clothing. Think Nike meets Patagonia, meets Disney, meets nature, well-being, and adventure. I could stand here and tell you that there was, grand master plan, a kind of click moment of identifying a gap in the market, but that's not how Vivida began. Wasn't even born as a business or a company. It initially founded as out of heart and out of purpose. Initially in my gap year as a purely passion-driven project to remind me that life's short and life's precious, and basically served as a daily reminder to live life to the fullest, follow my dreams, do what I love, and always strive to find connection to and appreciation for the natural wonders that surround us. The vision for Vivida was kind of shaped looking back on the loss of my dad, who died of cancer when I was 7 years old. And it was a formative source of inspiration all these years later, building Vivida Lifestyle. Essentially, his death came at a time when he was just about to retire. Mum and dad spent a while trying to have kids and everything. He's just about to retire, and then he gets cancer, and really young. So kind of a reminder of life's harsh but also beautiful impermanence, and really that was the founding inspiration for the philosophy of the Vivida Lifestyle. Life is so precious, so you've got to spend it doing what you love. So you've got a founder here that's deeply committed to the mission. It's more than just a marketing ploy. And the story's been written about in various press, for example, Forbes here, really leaned into this differentiator from a brand perspective that, you know, when you think of Nike, Patagonia, Apple, these amazing brands, think of Patagonia and Nike, you think of so much more than the shoe, you think of this movement. They started actually with a problem solution for a product. It was the track shoe. Yeah, a lot of you have probably read the Shoe Dog book, etc. Now with Vivida, very much as it says here, brands often start with a product problem, and then they create this vision, this wonderful brand and lifestyle movement around it, which Nike, Patagonia have done exceptionally well. With Vivida, its evolution has been the exact opposite. We've started with an ideology, a brand, a community, and on a journey of building the best possible product. We've come a long way. Started from humble beginnings. Here's a little snapshot of where my mum and I used to store all the products and go to the post office every day to ship out each and every package. We're now, you know, working with, you know, world-class 3PLs, A3PL. This is the one in the UK. Vivida's no longer an idea. It's not just a vision. It's a tangible reality. It's a success story. And we've got traction, overflowing with opportunity. We've booked just over £3.5 million in lifetime sales, 82,000 units sold, more than 35,000 people subscribed via media channels, 29,000 customers, averaging 4.7 out of 5 average reviews. Our unit economics are now in a really strong place. £115 average order value, £24 cost of acquisition, you know, £4 back for every £1 spent on marketing. We're profitable on first purchase. We've got the rocket ready to, you know, put some fuel into it and scale. Our return rate isn't as good as the gentleman that presented earlier. He said something like 4 or 5%, I forget, but our return rate's at 11%, which I thought was pretty good compared to an industry average of 30%. The mission is to build a 100-year brand. So basically that's a proxy for us thinking long term, you know, building foundations for longevity, not a kind of growth at all costs model. We want, you know, profit focused, self-funded, etc., etc. In simplistic terms, this is the design, distribution, and sale of responsible clothing and accessories. It's a UK company with a global brand, global community. Here's the split. I need to move quite quickly because time's limited, but we're omni-channel, direct to consumer through our own website. We've started doing drop shipping and we're about to do wholesale. But generally, as the business stands today, we're mainly direct to consumer via just our single website, but there's a lot of opportunity elsewhere. We've just onboarded a few drop shippers recently, which is exciting. We've got a tech stack in place with integrated management systems and infrastructure, so that helps us scale and focus on what we do best. So developing world-class product, delighting customers, building community, etc. We work with the best partners worldwide. You know, we're working with the factory Shaco group that do the likes of them, you know, Patagonia's wetsuits, etc., etc. So we're working with the best. We're in good hands from a production perspective. This is the big engine, the big category. I'm going into more detail on product now. Changing robe meets oversized coat. Get warm, stay dry, anywhere and everywhere. It's a changing room that serves all bodies, all ages, all genders. And once niche, this category is increasing on its way to the mainstream. And whilst, yes, the excitement of the category means that there's more, you know, competitors coming into the scene. You've even got, I don't know, this is an international audience, but Primark, I don't know if that exists outside of the UK, quite like a low cost kind of retailer. They've even started doing changing robes, which just shows like that there's money to be made here. Such a mainstream mass market retailer wouldn't be doing so if there isn't. So there's money to be made. And essentially Vivida leads the premium space, as is reflected and evidenced in these accolades, you know, best premium change, best, you know, with the best premium changing robe. So really the adage is, you know, a rising tide lifts all boats, and it's great. You know, rather be a leader in a growing, exciting category that was once niche and it's on its way to the mainstream than like a lone sort of wolf in a stagnant one kind of thing. So starting small, thinking big, yeah, we brought this new innovation to the scene. The puffer and that didn't exist before. So we created a new category. It's our innovation met an unmet customer need, combining style and performance, multi-award winning by GQ Mag, Women's Health, etc. Now, as I described here, it's more than a changing robe. It's also, people are calling it like my parka jacket, my coat, even people refer to it as a wearable duvet, you know. And the film and TV industry have adopted it as a set coat, a keep warm set coat. Essentially, we're fast becoming the leading supplier for film and TV coats in this industry. It's set to be a lucrative B2B sales channel with really high margins. I say high margins because when you sell, if you were selling to a shop wholesale, you'd be selling to an entity that needs to make money the other side. The film and TV, you've got the likes of that. We've supplied Disney, we've supplied BBC Studios, Netflix, etc. They have enormous wardrobe budgets. These are entertainment giants, and Amazon's more than an entertainment giant. Massive wardrobe budgets that essentially can get allocated Vivida's way, and they don't need. They're thrilled with the discounts that we're giving them, but the discounts are a lot. You know, it's a much bigger margin than we'd be getting if we were doing wholesale. So juicy margins, high volume. We're talking average order value of like £30,000. We had Disney approach us, a costume coordinator digitally approach us. You know, £30,000. Thank you very much. It's fantastic, really exciting. The UK is the second largest exporter of film and TV in the world. In the world after the USA. And so it's great that that's our home market. And it's not just a sales channel, it's a door into celebrity exposure and relationships, which is our it's like our big unfair advantage that's set to supercharge the business, and it is our takeoff moment. We've had, the traction is reflected in the likes of Ed Sheeran here on the right. He wore our set coat for us filming all 40 music videos of the Subtract album. Lenny Henry down here, again, blah, blah, blah. And we've even had one actress from this inquiry. Thank you.
Move a little bit faster.
Yeah. Thank you. It's celebrated by top tier international press. It's a glorious product, as you can see here. I need to keep moving, but has been a big category for us as well. Poncho towels. We've sold 38,000 units. Essentially, it's the non-waterproof version of that. Dry off, get changed anywhere and everywhere. Stay put swimwear. We've built a reputation for athletic swimwear. Swimwear market's large. It's very saturated. There hasn't been a brand to disrupt the scene like, for example, Gymshark did for activewear, and there is opportunity to do so. It's not our focus, but it's a longer term play that we've got our foothold in. Elevated ocean athleisure, swimwear meets activewear, beauty meets function. And we created the first zipped reversible wetsuit in the world. So there you can see here, this is the same suit, one suit, two vibes, two looks, 2-in-1, made of scrap rubber car tires, again, factories that Patagonia use, etc. Post-consumer plastic bottles, etc., etc. The world is changing. Fashion was founded on the desire for status, but the nature of that status is changing fast. Consumers today, they seek well-being, connection, meaning, not just status or possessions. There's a growing desire to escape the city, reconnect with nature. Consumers yearn for brands that resonate with their values, that spark emotion, that offer a sense of belonging beyond mere products, connection. And Vivida is perfectly positioned ahead of this trend. Sustainability, one of the earliest brands to really push sustainability since 2017. We water-soluble packaging that leaves no trace. We've incorporated degrades naturally after 12 months, leaving behind only carbon dioxide, oxygen, and mineralized biomass, be it on land or ocean. We've incorporated car tires into our wetsuit. Post-consumer plastic bottles. This is all made of 100% recycled, both the wadding, the inner fleece, and the outer. 100% post-consumer recycled plastic bottles, has been since it was launched. We've got an imperfect collection where if there's any wonky veg, as it were, it gets sold on. There's no waste. We've never we always find a home for something. We've got a pre-order system which minimizes misestimations and waste, etc. Talking with some material science startups, it was introduced infinited fiber. I haven't got enough time to tell you about it. I need to move on because I'm limited to 10 minutes. Some of the most valuable companies in the world started small and built out from niches from which they expanded. Patagonia, the climbing, Piton, Nike, the shoe. North Face, Gymshark, Airbnb, Amazon. Vivida is being built out from strategic niches that might seem small, but we're thinking big. We sit at the intersection of various vast and scaling sectors, and demands are changing in our favor. Customers love Vivida. We've proven customer adoration at scale, and it's a great asset and foundation for long-term success. In Vivida, people see, customers they sense Vivida's soul and spirit. Our differentiated product is reinforced by a unique brand proposition and special approach to building community. Well before it was this buzzword in marketing, Vivida was born out of community. We don't just sell product, we sell the universe it exists in. We sell a dream, an aspirational lifestyle and philosophy in life. Vivida sits at this kind of intersection of, as you can see here, well-being, nature, connection, water, flow state, adventure. And this customer adoration and sort of community that we've built is something we can scale. It's a moat and it is a growth engine. Not a passing brand. Vivida is a mindset. It's a vision. It's a place you can be yourself, release your inhibitions, and fearlessly go out to embrace the beauty of this world and the people in it. We think of it more as a customer psychographic than a customer demographic. The Vivida lifestyle is ageless. It's sizeless. It's a way of life. AI is really exciting. It's not a threat. It's with AI, consumers are going to crave more scarce and authentically human experiences. Often provided by small businesses run by passionate people, et cetera, and it's going to allow us to scale in a leaner way. Customer inspired me to be better myself. It's more than something you wear. It's a movement. It's personally, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the customer and community living their Vivida lifestyles and moving quickly because time's limited. Again, a head of brand at a debt investor we've worked with that's become a friend. Vivida is a wellness movement, a celebration of nature and adventure. We have a lean team that have the fundamentals covered. Francesca, oh God, sorry, clicked the wrong button. Francesca here helped All About Brown, that some of you might have heard of. It's a luxury men's swimwear brand. She helped them grow to an eventual exit to Chanel. She was there for 5 years, grew to be, this photo is from like 2017. So we all look younger here than in actuality. You need to update them. And she was there at All About Brown for 5 years, grew to be a key member of the leadership team, saw it to an exit, and then it was a different beast and wanted to move on. And she's joined us at Vivida. We have Tidal, our agency that do SEO, digital marketing and stuff like that. They scaled ads for our, probably our core competitor called Passenger Clothing. They did the ads for them from £500,000 to 10 million ARR, annual recurring revenue. And since then they've gone on to, they're approaching 100 now, and they've done that in 5 years. Our agency were there.
Sorry, I have to interrupt.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're backed by 73 angel investors that believe we have what it takes. We've got somebody who was a manager and director of a company that was bought by Microsoft. We've got Nicola, who's a prolific angel investor, particular focus on fashion. We've got global head of HR for Mars Pet Care. We've got some professional kiteboarders. We've got an actor. We've got startup advisors. We've got various finance people that help with our cash flow management and financial modeling. We've got a real diverse mix of angels. We're ready to scale up. It's been a journey. We essentially, we used to sell on Amazon for a bit. It was great for reaching minimums because we try and create the best product possible, and that means high minimums. It was good for revenue, but no profit. We were also set back. We were experiencing real pull, market pull, as you can see here, but it wasn't a sustainable business model. We would have had to take on VC funding and all that kind of stuff. And we were also set back by Brexit. The EU was 40% of the revenue bit. So essentially we took 2 steps back in terms of revenue to then be able to take 5 steps forward. We now have unit economics that are apparently better than certain market peers in terms of KPIs, AOV and stuff like that. We're now ready to scale an efficient business profitably. Again, that point about longevity. So really exciting. You can see how we've done it here. Essentially, gross margin has been going up. We're now on 54%, and we know how we can take that higher. Overheads much more efficient, break even, and really exciting place to then be able to plow more, have resource to play with to plow into product development and marketing for self-funded growth. We're clear on what the growth levers are to meet those targets. I need to move on. B2B sales is one of them. We haven't tapped into it at all, really, other than the light film and TV stuff that we're about to scale from 2025. Cash is the last piece of the puzzle. Growth capital. We have a solid business with known strengths and gaps. The focus plan to step change from kidulthood to adulthood. Unit economics continue to trend higher year on year. Oh, good. Goodness. As I said, AOV 115. It was at like 90 a year ago. So it's growing higher. We've been really focused. And it's in 6 months' time, it'll be a 125. We have plenty of headroom with our existing category, particularly with film and TV, like product categories. But our customer wants to buy more from Vivida. They're constantly saying that, please, and so there's opportunity. They don't need another change of road. You only need one change of road in your life, really. And so we will augment this core product with other market busters as well. And we have a rock solid 80-page long roadmap for that that's ready, and I can show that to vetted investors over a call. That'll open us up. That'll re-engage existing customers. The large base that we have, and open us up to a larger addressable market as well as a new acquisition hook. And in addition to all this, increase our sales channels. We've just gone live on Wolf and Badger. We've just gone live on Decathlon. We're doing drop shipping. We've gone live with them in the past few weeks. We're raising 1.5 million, pre-money value 6, 20% equity up for grabs, 10K minimum ticket. We've closed 419K so far. This is pounds, by the way, GBP. And yeah, use of funds, inventory to support growth marketing to drive growth, product development, and a bit of team. Again, keeping the team lean. This is our timeline in terms of investment, what we've raised before. I need to move quickly, but we're set on creating a liquidity event by 2032, hopefully before. Bring on a partner for the next stage who would buy out the early shareholders and clean out the cap table. There are 73, which is quite a lot of people, and a lot of people I care about, and I'll be absolutely thrilled if we can provide that liquidity event for everyone. That's here's some multiples in the industry. Hopefully the markets will be more buoyant by then. This is the types of revenues that we're projecting. You've got our core competitor, Passenger Clothing, that we're not going to grow that fast, but they did 500K to 100 million pounds in 5 years. They've got the ex-CEO of Gymshark, who's just who invested about a year ago, has become chairman and stuff. So which is validation for the space. We can do, with the right people, right backers, we can do that sort of thing. What's in it for investors? So could make a lot of money here, and take pride in being part of a impact-led, purpose-driven brand striving to make the world a better place. The team and I will work our socks off to make investors' money go further. We're at an exciting inflection point with, oh God, sorry, just zoom in, but the whole film and TV thing is the real step change. I can walk people through this, but we've got senior creative producer at BBC Studios has just joined the team part-time. She's building out a team of sales reps, nurturing them. I won't get too much into the details here because partly I don't want competitors to hear it on this video that's going to go live on YouTube, but also there isn't enough time. So we've got an unfair advantage that's set to supercharge the business. It's not a sales channel only. It's also a hook to relationships with actors, celebrities. All it takes is one big time other Ed Sheeran to be on the cap table and to push it slightly, and you're to the moon. There's a really exciting secret as well that will be transformational that's in the pipeline. It's not ready to be made public, but I'm really excited to share that over a call with interested parties. We've got a scalable business model that can grow profitably and resonate across multiple geographies at the same time. Vivida's purpose is one that people can believe in, and people build brands. We have a great product. We've got a great team. It's good timing, strong KPIs, scalable. The missing piece of the puzzle is some fuel for the rocket. And yeah, we're in an inflection point. And we think the raise can get us to, there's an opportunity for investors now to join us as we target 18 million annual revenue by 2029, 6.4 EBITDA. Again, there's there's known strengths and there's known gaps. There's plenty of gaps still, but we know what they are. We know how to address them, and there's real ambition and potential to build this into something big and beautiful. And if you know, with the right backers, we might do that. And if you think that could be you, please find me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for listening. Oh God. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who wants to start with the feedback? Jeppe?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Just jumping into the numbers, you said you had a 54% gross margin today and targeting 70%. What's how are we going to make that?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Because
Yeah.
54 is not the best. So I was
No,
wondering.
it's not great. But by the way, that includes it's baked in like returns, transaction fees, all, you know, anything to any cost in delivering the code. Yeah, obviously our product.
Okay, so it's not gross margin 1. It's
no, it's gross margin 2. It's gross margin 2.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Our gross margin, because there's different definitions on there. Our gross margin 1 is like 73.
Okay, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, and I think we can get that to 80, 83 in 2-3 years, and I'll tell you why, because that was your question. Then
Okay.
GM2, so gross margin to like the 2 is 54% currently, and then contribution margin is, you know, sort of 30, but depends on the channel. With film and TV, it's you know, there isn't a cost of acquisition, etc., so it can be higher. Yeah.
About the B2B, because it's looking on your forecast, it's going to be a big part of your revenue the coming years. How long have you been coming so far, and what makes you so comfortable making that be a such significant part of your revenue in a couple of years?
Also, let me know if I haven't actually answered your question on here about how we're going to take that higher. I'll quickly do so. We're currently fulfilling, 70% of our sales are in the UK, but there's pull from the US, North Canada, Europe as well, and there's just friction, particularly since Brexit, with the fees and the import tariffs and everything else. So getting internationalizing logistics thingies, supply chain optimizations. There's work. We've just gone live, actually. Miranda, our head of ecom, has just put live an after cart kind of upsell thing. So we're doing ecom optimizations, etc. We're not yet tapping into the kind of the economies of scale in the back end, because we're doing quite small numbers in terms of product relative to the passengers and those lot. And I can go into more detail there. On to B2B, so really it's the film and TV. And I will not show too much of this because this is being recorded, and it's kind of as I said, we've got in the past 3 months have basically been establishing some infrastructure to scale. Historically, we've had a costume coordinator at Disney reach out, said, your product looks completely different to what we've seen in sale. Love to. They bought 350, from Disney. We've had BBC do the same, etc., etc. But it's been kind of accidental. They've reached out to us. They found us in some press article or whatever it is, and we've not been doing anything proactive and going out there. And so there's a plan. Essentially, there's a whole. It'll take half an hour to tell you, but we've got sales infrastructure in place essentially to scale. We've got somebody who's senior creative producer at BBC Studios. She's just gone part-time. She's doing 1 day a week now at Vivida. That will scale up. And she is building out a team of sales reps. So these are the wardrobe buyers, costume coordinators that are already in the place. They're already the decision makers in terms of steering budgets, and essentially creating a bit of a team that feel they'd be paid commission along the way, and at scale, essentially being in the right. We're subscribed to a newsletter of all the productions going on every month, and essentially we know who the sales reps and wardrobe buyers are, and we're going to bring them on our team essentially and steer budgets our way at scale, and we've got a plan to do so. Yeah, there's more than there's. I think demand is there to do much more than the numbers I'm putting forward, but I've learned from experience to kind of be realistic, and also supply. You know, we just wouldn't have enough supply to meet more than that. So within film and TV alone, there's enough there to do the AOVs. You know, 30K. There's more than enough to hit those numbers. So it would be supply constrained, and then there's you know, traditional wholesale and drop shipping, etc., that we've not tapped into. So plenty of space there. Have I answered your question? And sorry, and
I think you're on the lead, and it's a big exciting lead. My sister is a director herself, so I know it's a big crew on such big production. So I guess there's a demand there. Just since it's so much part of your future, and you don't have much that sells today, it's just how comfortable you are on that revenue stream in the future. Just a final thing, I guess we are short on time now, but and Samuel has some questions as well about the CAC. I find the CAC is very low today. And I'm not sure, maybe not the easy question, but it seems like it's a very specific, typical customer buying your products. And maybe because people are very community based, I would guess, and maybe people, the word of mouth spreading, etc. So that's why the CAC. Do you have any? That's why the CAC is low. I mean,
you're right that we're not doing big volumes yet on, you know, Meta and all that kind of stuff, and you would expect as volume increases, you know, CAC to increase. You're right. We're kind of going for the more lower hanging fruit. I mean, we're clear that, you know, affiliates works really well for us. So that's, you know, people creating reviews about like the best changing robes for 2025 and things like that, and you pay them a commission. That's really juicy and something to scale. So we're clear on. You're right that currently that's the CAC on some of the low hanging fruit, and we're not doing massive volumes. And if we were to scale up some of the more inefficient ones, like maybe Meta, paid Meta and stuff like that, you'd expect CAC to go up. But we are clear on which ones can maintain those sorts of CACs at scale. Yeah. Great. It is what it is now. Yeah, no, it's a good point.
No, because but as well, I think it's a great way to grow business in the first place, and then maybe building the ambassadors, and then going to more in the person maybe not having this certain lifestyle in these pictures. You maybe pursue in the beginning, but okay, I know we have little time, so I'm happy with my questions and the answers as well. So
good, thank you.
Maybe Samuel has someone.
I don't have much, David. I just wanted to say you're hitting all the high points as far as the market now.
Thank you.
Your presentation was excellent. And the only question I would have for you is your diversity of customer base, and how you're gonna. You said you've gone into some, how you're gonna expand that. But I think that you got to be careful going into one area like you are, especially if you have a downturn in that industry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, quite right.
Are they going strike again?
Sorry, so what's the question? What's the question? Is it being...
Well, my question is the diversity, how you plan on diversifying. You've got a specific niche in your market, and you've done a great job there. You know, my only question is, how do you cut your pie up into smaller slices so that you don't have such a big slice tied into one area?
Actually, we've kind of been victim of the inverse, where we've got 3 core competitors in the UK. One of them is Dry Robe, and they have become like the household name for a changing robe. So it's almost like the Hoover, you know, or Sellotape, etc. People will talk of a Vivida dry robe, but they mean a Vivida changing robe. So Dry Robe, where was I going with this? Sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. You were talking about so they have benefited from being really crystal focused on like because
I love your focus and your direction as far as your SKUs. You're keeping your SKUs down, and I think that's what made you successful, get you to the point that you're at now. My only question was, on your customer base.
Yeah.
How were you planning to diversify that? Which you went into some of that, but I saw that you were extending.
Our customer base is already quite, we've got, you know, the kind of the wild swimmer, we've got, you know, there is already quite a lot of diversity in our customer mix, which what I was trying to describe is potentially has potentially been a weakness, because it's between 25 and 60 years old, you know, both men and women. You know, you've got wild swimmers, you've got the film and TV thing, so it already is quite, the product is focused, but who's buying it, because it's a psychographic as opposed to a demographic, it already is a
But you're also looking at a lot of seasonal products too that you're developing. A lot of them are seasonal products, and that's my next question, is how do you offset your volume when your seasons change?
Actually been really fortunate, because the UK is the home market. Our core category is great for winter, and in the summer it's not even that hot in the UK. So the core category, we don't have much of a seasonality issue. Our peak period is the 8 weeks to Christmas because of gifting. It's a really good gifting product, etc. And then summer, you know, people get outside. But actually, even in January, February, you know, our winner hero is the puffer. You know, it's a wearable duvet. You want it in February, March, etc. So fortunately, we don't have too many spikes in terms of season. But yeah, we can continue to smooth that out, you know, with our product pipeline that we have ready. And I'm prepared to show that to investors, our product pipeline.
Well, you're doing a lot of things right. I appreciate what I've heard from you as far as the direction you're taking, and also looking at the different types of products that you're developing. And congratulations is all I can say to you.
Thank you so much, Samuel. That's really kind. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Great presentation, David.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this was the last presenter for tonight. So thank you everyone for staying on till 8 and I really appreciate your time. Also Samuel and Jeppe, big thank you for joining this event, and thank you to the presenters who did an amazing job presenting. And yeah, so I will be sharing the contact details to everyone who attended, so you can network after the event or reach out. And I will be sharing also a link to the recording on YouTube. And yes, I look forward to see you again in the next event. Thank you again. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.